Back in some of the older Call of Duty titles, the updates would always drop in the middle of the night, so you were either staying up really late or waking up really early to see what the new patch introduced. Then that system changed and new updates got pushed to midday launches in recent years, but Modern Warfare was not playing around with its aim to really play on the nostalgia of the golden days of Call of Duty, because updates are back releasing in the middle of the night, just like last night when we saw the 1.08 update drop pretty much out of the blue. This update is about 3.4 gigs in size on PlayStation 4, and then of course we got a copy there, so good luck with that. Can we get a moment of silence for a nice hour of copying that everyone's gonna have to spend doing?
Nope.
Cool, with that out of the way now, today we're breaking down all the major changes and updates that the 1.08 title update added to Modern Warfare. But before we jump into that, if you guys are new here, I've got all the latest Call of Duty news and intel going up on the channel each and every single day. So feel free to subscribe with your notifications turned on so you can stay up to date with all of that. And of course, if you do enjoy the video, let me know by dropping a like rating on it, as it would be much appreciated. And now let's get into the 1.08 update and everything that changed with it. Now, jumping right into the update itself, the first major change that we see is a general backend fix to further prevent crashes and improve stability across all modes and all platforms. I know Xbox is still pretty prone to frequent crashes in certain modes, and PC is all sorts of buggy at times as well, so ideally this should help improve crashing and stability in all of those areas and then some. There was also a few general bug fixes for the Riot Shield specifically, as they fixed a bug where a player using the Riot Shield would not take explosive damage in certain situations. Then they fixed another issue where the Riot Shield would stow on the player's back when using the stim equipment. Moving on into the footstep department, we were told some more footstep audio tuning was inbound a few days back, and here it is with this update, as now footstep audio will always remain at the walking volume when you are aiming down sights and also when you're crouched, regardless of the speed you're moving at. And they also increase the overall speed in which you can remain using the walking footstep volume by slightly pressing on the movement stick. AKA, footstep audio is now going to be a lot harder to hear when a player is either aiming down sights or if they are crouching. Now, both of these updates are much needed adjustments in the eyes of many players, and honestly, I wouldn't be too surprised if we see even more footstep tuning and adjustments made in the next few updates as well, as Infinity Ward works towards balancing the audio even more. I will say though, from my little bit of playtime with this new update live, the difference in footstep audio does seem pretty noticeable. This update also features a few different challenge updates in the way of a general fix for the UI and challenge states becoming out of sync, or in other words, challenges should now display the correct tracking numbers instead of just showing as 0 or in some cases not even showing up whatsoever. They also added in a fix for the dev error 5476 problem that could occur in relation to challenges in general, and there was another fix for the mission challenge description, get kills with burst weapons, being a bit too vague. Moving on from that, this update also includes some changes to the map Piccadilly, and here they made some adjustments to the spawn system while playing Team Deathmatch and also Domination. I know from personal experience the spawns on Piccadilly seemed really constant, like overwhelmingly constant, meaning even if the enemies were just a mere feet from your spawn location, you could still spawn there over and over and over again without the spawns ever flipping. So hopefully these adjustments will limit the potential spawn traps in Domination, and even more so in Team Deathmatch, where obviously the spawns should not be nearly as predictable. Also, a little side note there, I will say I had a chance to play a match of Domination on Piccadilly this morning, and the spawns definitely felt different. They were not nearly as constant, but instead seemed a lot easier to flip, and I also noticed he would spawn up towards the center of the map much more often. There was also an adjustment to the location of the B flag in Domination here, as it is now near the buses instead of the center fountain. So with this change, you can now be equally as confused when your character calls out enemy near the B flag as you are when your character calls out enemy near the buses. The 1.08 update also features some more weapon tuning as well, including even more nerfs to both the 725 shotgun and the M4A1. On the assault rifles all across the board, there was a minor hip spread adjustment, meaning your hip fire accuracy will be altered a bit no matter what AR you're actually using. Then on the 725, they ended up reducing the range in general, so hopefully this will deter people from attempting to use it as a sniper rifle, and also somehow succeeding when doing so. I know that even after the last patch, the 725 was still ridiculously broken, so ideally this nerf will lessen its impact in-game even more. On the M4A1, they increased the hip spread and also decreased the damage to the head. And here, I'm a little confused as to whether this was an additional decrease to the previously mentioned hip spread adjustment, or if it is the same decrease and they are just mentioning it again to emphasize another nerf on the M4. Honestly, I would assume the former there, but either way, this should help balance the M4A1 with the other assault rifles a little more. Next up on the FAL, they reduced the recoil and also increased the ADS speed, so the FAL should be a bit more effective overall now, as I know the recoil when firing as fast as you possibly could previously was pretty bad, and in general it wasn't a great assault rifle as is, but hopefully with this update it'll be a bit stronger in comparison to the rest of the category. On the EB14, they increased the ADS speed, nothing too crazy there. And then there was also some miscellaneous ammo reserve adjustments upon spawning in to be in line with other weapons of their class. Then finally, for the updates listed in the patch notes, there was also one bug fix for Spec Ops specifically, where a player using the overkill perk with an SMG as their secondary would sometimes spawn in without a primary weapon when joining a match in progress. So that should no longer be present when playing. However, I will say I actually just played Spec Ops for the very first time the other night, and while I had a ton of fun playing the mode and just goofing around with the buds, the mode was absolutely as buggy as can be. Between our audio glitching out, our riot shields sometimes just disappearing at random, and the visuals looking like it was straight out of Minecraft at times, I was having a very interesting time to say the least. So I am really hoping to see a lot more bug fixes come to Spec Ops in the future, because honestly I did really enjoy playing the mode, but between the rewards being very few and far from and the very apparent issues that appear nearly every time you play, it's just not a super great experience in its current states. Also, one other thing I did want to bring up is that this update, despite it not being mentioned specifically in the patch notes, is supposed to fix the max rank glitch that basically causes your game to blue screen every single time you load it up. So that glitch essentially made it so that you could no longer play the game. It kind of bricked your account in a sense, but this update is supposed to be the one that changes that. I know my buddy Prestige's Key had that problem, and I believe Swag did as well, and apparently it was caused by being max rank of level 155 and having completed too many officer challenges, which is oddly specific, and I know some people were jokingly saying it was basically the game's way of saying, hey, yeah, you're too good at the game, we gotta put you on pause to let other people catch up. Which, in theory, I guess is kind of an accurate way to describe it, but it's still a super annoying glitch that was pretty common. But basically, long story short, that bug should no longer be present. Anyways, the 1.08 title update might not be the biggest update that we've seen in the history of Modern Warfare. However, the changes that came to the game with it were pretty significant at the end of the day, and ideally the entire game will feel a bit more polished with the patch live. Like I said earlier, from my time playing on this new patch so far, the footstep audio change is definitely noticeable, as I found myself dying in some situations where I didn't hear any footsteps because I found out the enemy was actually ADSing, or vice versa, I got some pretty sneaky kills because of doing the same. The 725 still seems really good, but not nearly as effective as it was before, and the bug fixes with tracking and max rank users not being able to log on to the game all seem to have done their job so far. But with all of that being said, that is everything that ended up changing with the brand new 1.08 title update here in Modern Warfare, and that is effectively going to wrap things up for today. If you guys enjoyed the video, let me know, drop a like rating on it as it would be much appreciated. And of course, if you are new here and you want to stay up to date with everything going on in the world of Call of Duty, including all the latest news and intel, updates and leaks, and pretty much everything else in between, feel free to subscribe with your notifications turned on, that way you'll always know when I post a new video. As always, if you would like to check out any of my partners, be sure to use code IMMORTAL on all G Fuel, Control Freak, and Respawn products. You can find all of those links listed down in the description below, and once again, thanks so much for tuning in. Until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.